Well, I guess this will be the last Rob Watches of the year, and it's good because they finally premiered Justice League Action in the US. I don't know what takes so long with some of these shows, but there it is. Here we go. So Justice League Action is the first animated DC show to come out in a while that isn't dumb or goofy. Unlike certain other shows, I will never stop taking shots at Teen Titans Go, so long as Cartoon Network insists on shoving it in our faces. By the way, off topic, but did you know that this show is on Boomerang? Yeah, they've been showing episodes of Teen Titans Go on Boomerang. Jeez, the infection is worse than we thought. Perhaps Steven Universe and the Crystal Gems should stop worrying about gem corruption and worry about the corruption of their own network. But I digress. You know, it's very difficult following in the footsteps of a show like Justice League or Justice League Unlimited because they kind of set a standard. They took their audience seriously and raised the bar for not just superhero shows, but animated shows in general. Very few shows came close to where they set the bar. In fact, the show that I can think of that came the closest was probably Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. So, having said that, I'll be as fair as possible. I'll try not to compare too much. But this show is a nice return to form because it involves superheroes doing superhero things. You know, fighting crime and setting a good example. Remember when that was a thing? The show seems to revolve around Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman, and they'll usually throw in 1, 2, maybe 3 other members of the Justice League. So it kind of follows the same formula as Batman Brave and the Bold, where you had Batman and then maybe 1 or 2 other heroes. And it's cool that they're utilizing a lot of characters that weren't featured in Justice League, like Firestorm, John Constantine, and Swamp Thing. Wow, I don't think Swamp Thing has been in a cartoon since his own cartoon. And the show has some really good voice actors. They brought back Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill to be Batman and the Joker. Boy, they keep trying to get out, but we keep pulling them back in. Because they're that good. Superman and Wonder Woman are voiced by Jason Lewis and Rachel Kimsley, who are relatively unknowns. But they did bring back a lot of staple DC voice actors. Josh Keaton reprises his role as Hal Jordan, and he played Hal in Green Lantern, the animated series. Sean Astin is the voice of Billy Batson and Shazam, and he voiced him in the Justice League animated movies. And Carrie Payton returns as Cyborg, and once again, just like with DC Superhero Girls, it's really nice hearing this character played with a little bit of dignity again. Not gonna stop. Now, there were a few voice acting choices in this that felt a little bit weird. For example, they had Dana Snyder as the voice of Plastic Man. And don't get me wrong, I love Dana Snyder. He's seriously one of my favorite voice actors. But I think I prefer Tom Kenny's Plastic Man, because he played him in Batman Brave and the Bold. Again, nothing against Dana Snyder, but perhaps his Plastic Man might take some getting used to. They also had John DiMaggio as the voice of Lobo, and you gotta love John DiMaggio. You got great choice for Lobo, but again, I think Brad Garrett's Lobo was a little bit better. But again, it's probably just going to take some getting used to. One of my biggest concerns was the format that the show was in, because rather than doing a half-hour show, they're doing 15-minute episodes, or rather 11 minutes plus commercials. And I feel like for a good superhero show, you need to go to the full half hour. So far from what I've seen, the episodes seem to be standalone, which does help to make the 15-minute format work. But if they do any big overarching stories, I hope they do show the episodes in a block. In fact, the premiere was hour long, which was a big storyline, and that's basically 4 episodes in a row right there. So if they do anything like that, I hope they show all the episodes at once. The character design was okay. Again, I'm really trying not to compare it to Justice League, but it's a far cry from Bruce Timm's work. Again, I'm trying to not make comparisons, but when something works, it works. And comparisons can be inevitable, but maybe just like with the voice acting, it'll take some getting used to. I really hate to say this, but the worst part of the show was the animation, because there were a lot of moments when the animation was very jerky, and I really hope it's something they improve upon over time. But I did like this show a lot. I like how it did an homage to Batman the Animated Series. I like that we got some good superhero action on TV again, or at least in animated form. And I've said many times before, I like when the lesser known superheroes get the spotlight. And I like that there's an animated superhero show that I can take seriously again. I will never stop. So be sure to check out Justice League Action before Cartoon Network cancels it. Please support it though, seriously. So that's all I got for Justice League Action. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think of it. And since they're bringing in heroes that were kind of left out of Justice League, what hero are you hoping to see show up in the show? My name is Rob, and have a wonderful day.